Wine and Once, a Once Upon a Time podcast. I'm Lo.
And I'm Dee, and welcome to A Bad Time.
And it is a bad time.
It's truly terrible. None of it's good.
No.
For those of you who have not had the pleasure, I suppose, of listening so far, what we're doing is going through episode by episode of our favorite / least favorite show, Once Upon a Time.
It's a good way of
I
putting it.
say both because it is both. It's both.
It is both. We've been watching this show for 10 years. Since it aired.
It doesn't get better. No. So we're going through episode by episode, so you don't have to. We're talking about what we love, what we hate, what we really hate. Mostly those last two.
Yep.
And let's see what else we're keeping track of. Normal things like the family tree, the fuck fern, Emma's superpower, magic beans, curses.
A lot of shrubbery involved.
More than one would expect.
And just as a heads up, this is a completely spoiler-ridden place.
Yes. Spoilers ahoy.
Are talking through this whole thing, having seen the whole show, most of it more than once. And as we're watching and listening to things, we are definitely talking with the full knowledge of the series. So if you are interested in a spoiler-free Once Upon a Time experience, perhaps come back to us after you've had that.
Correct. First, go watch Season 1, Episode 13, What Happened to Frederick, and then come on back over here and listen to what we have to say about it.
Yeah, see what's going on.
Or what about Frederick? What happened? I don't even know the name of the episode.
What happened to Frederick?
What happened to Frederick? Week. There it is. Sure.
What about Frederick? What is there to say about that floppy-haired man?
The soccer boy.
Yeah. You know what? I know exactly who he was giving me.
Ooh, tell me.
Do you remember in the first Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants movie, Nate the soccer coach or whatever fuck his name was?
Yep.
That's it.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Wow, glad we figured it out. It's been bugging us since we watched.
I mean, maybe I am just saying that because he was shown holding a bunch of soccer balls, but he also was blonde and floppy-haired.
I think they're the same person.
Yeah.
So yes, onto the first part of Wine, Wine, and Once, the wine.
Indeed.
I've got mine.
I've got
mine.
Wine? Cheers.
Wow.
I have a nice little rosé here. What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking a cab, as it is a given.
That's true. I'm not around
I do
force you to drink something else.
No, we bring out the best in each other. We bring out other wines in each other.
Yeah, I wouldn't say best. I think
most
everyone who knows us would disagree with that statement.
I even disagree with that statement.
Indeed.
How's your week? What's new? Tell me about life.
Oh, life is. I feel like we have the same conversation every week. It's a whole thing, but it's Wednesday, and I like Wednesdays.
It is. Wednesdays are great.
Go down, and I mean, unfortunately for the listeners, they're just getting started on their week, but
I'm so sorry, guys.
It can only go up from here. I know that's usually our closing line, but
it's important to know at the beginning sometimes.
Exactly. How's your week going?
How is my week going? Oh, update in live time. So this is a very big deal. Lo and I were trying to buy tickets to Hadestown, and it was very dramatic. I got the wrong day. It's been a very stressful day. During dinner, a guy called from the theater and was like, email me, we'll figure it out, we'll get you sorted. So hey, my week's going better. We'll get to see it on the day we want to.
I love that. I mean, again, I was not going to be mad at the idea of having to take 2 days off to, make this work.
True. I mean, and we can still executive decision if we want to do that.
That's very true. I mean, and I could also just
come and we still see
take 2 days off anyway.
Exactly. So I know this is very exciting for all of you, but this is very important to me. It was a very stressful evening.
Yes.
I don't talk to people, and I was afraid I was going to have to call someone, but he gave me an email, his personal email to reach out to.
Best.
So my week is going much better.
Much better. So good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So good.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Me too. I was confused why I was getting a call at 7:30 in the evening.
That is always concerning.
Right.
At least it came with good news.
I was fully expecting to be someone talking about my car's extended warranty, so
well,
it's better.
It is better that way.
Yeah.
All right.
But all in all, it's all good.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, have we stalled long enough, or must we stall longer?
Well, we could talk about that summary that's a complete and utter fabrication
Oh, I love it.
on the Disney
Yeah,
Plus side of things.
let's dive right into that. The good old Disney Plus summary. Season 1, Episode 13, What Happened to Frederick? David decides to tell Catherine about his relationship with Mary Margaret. As Prince Charming searches for Snow White, he agrees to help Abigail with a dangerous mission.
Okay, so like half of that's correct.
The second half is a complete fact.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
Exactly.
Now, that first chunk, David decides to tell David decides to tell Catherine.
No. David very clearly does not decide to tell
No,
Catherine.
he decides point blank that I will not be telling her. I will use a cop-out of her getting into law school.
Correct, yeah.
That is the point of the dispute between him and Mary Margaret, is you did not tell her. You lied to me, you lied to her. I'm already spicy, we haven't even gotten to the episode, but this is bullshit. The summary is bullshit.
Yes it is. And,
I already need to drink.
yeah, no, that's fair. All right, everybody, cheers. Bottoms up. Enjoy your water or beverage of choice.
Spicy water.
Spicy water, is that what we're calling wine now?
I guess. Really, this is more like spicy juice.
Yeah, spicy water like a vodka, maybe?
Yeah. Or a gin. I feel like gin is spicy water.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gin is, vodka is definitely a bit like tangier.
I don't know. We'd have to think about it. What do you guys think?
Tell us, what is spicy water?
What do you think spicy water is?
Yes.
All right. Well, okay.
Are you ready for this?
No, absolutely not. But
at least
we're
this
here
isn't
now.
your own personal therapy, so it's a little bit better.
Oh yeah, no. I'm so grateful that this show never
attacks you
personally attacked me. Like it attacks me, but only on like an academic physical level.
Sure.
As opposed to a deeply emotional and traumatizing level.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing okay after last week?
I think I am. I think I've kind of like transcended, I went through hell and I've come out on the other side.
Yeah, the phoenix rises.
Precisely. Okay. I am a phoenix and I have risen.
It's great.
So I'm doing okay, It's a process.
We're
healing.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my inner child. I'm screaming at my inner child a lot. But
nature is healing.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, here we go.
Well, I guess take it away.
I don't want to.
But, I don't want you to either, but we're here now.
We are here now, and
no, this is Unlucky 13, so we just don't know where this is going to take us.
It's going to be an entertaining time, especially because I was typing the summary on my iPad using a Bluetooth keyboard, and I just noticed some typos, which
I cannot wait.
I'm going to just read one out right now. Him is charming. Are fleeing. Delightful.
I think that's what happened in the show, actually.
So that's like in the first sentence. I'm going to read you the right way, and then I'm going to read it as written. So we open in the Enchanted Forest, and it's Abigail meeting with King George, who we know to be the absolute monster who has pressed David into princely service.
Well, sure.
He tells some knights to find him, and we know him to be David.
Mm-hmm.
So we see David fleeing on horseback through the forest.
He does that a lot.
Yeah. That sentence is read as, him is charming, are fleeing on horseback through the forest. Great typing on my part.
I like it better. I think it has more flavor that way.
Exactly. Anyway, he's fleeing through the forest, and he hides behind the Charlie Brown tree from a Charlie Brown
You're not
Christmas.
Incorrect.
And
just needs one little ornament.
Yeah. And that throws the men off the scent, but he turns around thinking, aha, I've escaped, and is immediately captured. So,
well, that's his fault. He should have known better.
I mean, they did seem to be approaching him on a road. So, Anyway, turns out these men who have grabbed him work for Abigail, his fiance? It's up in the
Current
air.
fiance, it's complicated.
It's up in the air. But basically, they're sharing. She says, I don't really want to get married to you either, so...
Yeah.
You don't want to marry me. I know your heart belongs to another. Like, I don't want this either. But I would like you to do something for me.
Reasonable requests of one's fiance or ex-fiance
Indeed.
or what have you.
Indeed. And then we hop back over to Storybrooke, where David and Catherine are having an odd
A candlelit silent dinner.
Do people I suppose I'm not from a family that has ever done that, but like, do people light candles and have like glasses of wine and like...
My husband and I tried once. We got this crystal set that had crystal candle holders, and we were like, this will be fantastic. Let's get some candles in this shit.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable. It was weird. We sat there like, this is wrong. This feels too ominous. It doesn't feel natural.
Yeah, it's just...
People shouldn't do candles unless you're like going for that like gothic vibe, in which case, go forth.
Yeah, it's just, it's interesting to me. I see it in media and I'm like, who has the time for like a fully cooked dinner and candlelight and a glass of wine?
Not I. I'm just getting to the point in my life where I'm like able to have a glass of wine, like enjoy a drink every day. Don't give me candlelights. I don't have enough time for candles.
No. Just nonsense. But anyway, they're having an odd little quiet dinner, and Catherine, Catherine says that she has applied to law school, and she didn't tell him, but she's gotten in, and turns out law school is in Boston.
Of course it fucking is. Everything's in Boston.
What is in Boston? I mean, aside from everything, but like, why Boston?
All I can think of is they're like, we need a city that's large and would have things that people will recognize as a real place.
I guess.
All I can think of.
I guess. I don't know. David is like, I need some air, and leaves.
Fair.
So, obviously, he needs to go talk to Mary Margaret, because...
Of course.
That's what one does. Mary Margaret really wants to tell Catherine about them and this affair that they're having, because she wants to stop lying. Like...
She's suddenly deciding she wants to be a good person again. She's decided this being shady and cheating is probably not good.
Right. I guess it's fair in that it's okay to change your mind and be like, you know what? I really care about you. I would like this to go further. And if it's going to go further, we need to be honest and open and do the right thing. So good on her. She's like, we need to do the right thing. And David's like, I don't want to hurt Catherine. Mary Margaret's like, okay, but the only way nobody's getting hurt is if we're not together. And he's like, no, I choose you. So
he does a lot of choosing for someone that chooses nothing.
Correct. He's chosen a lot of people a lot. So Mary Margaret is like, hey, you need to tell Catherine the truth. Then our stranger, we know him to be August, but ominous stranger at this point, and Emma bump into each other outside of Granny's, and he says, oh, I've been meaning to bump into you, like, which was kind of funny. Like, it's a cute little thing.
He's fun. He's funny. I love him.
I like him a lot. He asks Emma out for that drink that he's been promised earlier. We'd love to see a continuity.
Right.
He asked for
We like when they bring up things from the past. It shows
and
they
it makes
had some
sense.
thought.
And it's important. And Emma's like, hey, I don't go out with people if they don't tell me their names. His name is August. Yeah. August W. Booth. The W stands for Wayne.
That's the worst. Put it together, it sounds terrible.
August Wayne Booth.
He needs another syllable in there is the problem.
He does. Yeah. Or he could shorten his first name. He needs another syllable, or he needs one
or
less.
one less.
Yeah. Oh, I know why I don't like W. Booth.
I know exactly why you don't like it.
Why don't I like it?
Because it sounds like W. Bush.
No, that wasn't what I was going to say, but that's correct too. John Wilkes
Okay,
Booth.
go. Oh.
That's why it was like uncomfortably scraping against like something in my brain. I'm a history nerd. But
no, my brain immediately
yeah.
WB.
No, that's the CW now.
Fuck up. It's been the CW for like a decade.
Yes.
I had not thought about that in a long time.
So long.
Proceed.
Anyway, August W. Booth and Emma are going to go out for their drink, and they're going to meet outside of Granny's later, because they're not going inside for the drink. He's going to come get her later.
Oh, naturally.
Mary Margaret and Emma are talking inside of Granny's then, and Mary Margaret reveals that, maybe she didn't keep staying away from David like she said she was going to. And Emma's like, yeah, I know.
You're not good at this.
It's
very obvious.
Really not good at this. You're very bad at sneaking around.
I really appreciate that she doesn't try to pull some superpower bullshit. She's just like, no, you fucking suck at lying.
Yeah, so like you're just bad.
You're just objectively bad at this.
Yeah, you're just bad at lying, and that's it.
She also says that her neckline is plunging.
She does, yeah.
Which is a weird thing.
She's like, when I first met you, you were a top button sort of girl.
I don't know what that means. Like, I know what that means, but I don't know what that means in the sentence of a top button kind of girl. Because, like,
well, as you so astutely pointed out in this scene, Mary Margaret is wearing a cardigan.
Mm-hmm.
That while the neckline does come down to, below her collarbones for sure, like
it's a respectable V-neck.
Yeah, it's a
situation.
V-neck for sure. The top button is buttoned.
Yeah. It's just not up to her neck.
Exactly. So anyway, it was an interesting comment.
Correct.
And we flash over. They have their little conversation. We flash over to David and Catherine's house again. They're having this conversation where Catherine is like, I've been looking at apartments. Come see. And he's like, I can't go to Boston with you. We should break things off. He kneels on one knee. It's weird.
Well, what he says is, I can't go to Boston. And she stares at me and says, can't or won't.
Yes. I love Catherine in this episode.
I know back in, like, episode 2, I said I've never met a Catherine I liked. I kind of take it. Catherine grows on me. I still don't like Catherines in general, but I do like Catherine as she's developed as a character.
Yeah.
From what we see. Because at first she is kind of clingy and annoying and like, why don't you remember me? And it's like, bitch, he has amnesia. What do you want from him?
Yeah.
But she does become a developed full character, and I like her.
Absolutely. So, David's like, I can't. She says, I can't or won't. But they break things off. And very importantly, he does not say anything about his relationship with Mary Margaret. They break up. But it's not because he's told the truth.
He's found a cop-out.
Correct.
Cute for him.
Back in the Enchanted Forest, Abigail explains that she's in love with someone else too, just like David has Snow White. She has her love that she was engaged to before, but he is no longer there. And he takes David to see this golden statue, and David's like, wow, it's so lifelike. I've never seen such fine work.
She lets this go on for so long. It's uncomfortable.
It's
He's like touching the statue's hand and like admiring the craftsmanship.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, that's actually him. That's my dude.
My dad, he can turn things into gold.
We were ambushed. He pushed my dad away. and the curse turned him to gold, and I've tried true love's kiss, but the gold on the outside got in the way. I have thoughts about this. I will actually save this though.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to that.
I can't wait.
So she wants David to go to this lake, Lake Nostos, where the waters can supposedly bring you back something you've lost, because true love's kiss did not work to break this curse, and she wants her boy back. So
sure,
he agrees, but she warns that there is this guardian of the lake, and it is very, very dangerous. No one has ever returned. Back in Storybrooke, August is dipping pages in the book. We don't really technically know what he's doing. He's taken Henry's book apart. He's dipping the pages in some sort of liquid and then hanging them up to dry. The assumption is he's making maybe a copy of it.
There's something happening. He's
Something
also
is-
stitching it together. He is doing things.
Yeah, he's taking a bookbinding class. It's impressive.
At least he has a hobby.
So important these days. Then we flash to, I think it's a really cute, sweet scene. Regina and Henry are sitting on the couch, and Regina hands him a present. He's like, "What's the occasion?" And she's like, "The occasion is I love you."
No.
And I know we're not supposed to feel like this is sweet, because we're supposed to be ooh, boo, evil queen. But again, we have the full knowledge of how much this woman really loves her son. And
it's sweet because I believe the reason she gives it is she's like, "Oh, your book is missing. Hopefully this will you'll find joy in this." I recognize from an evil queen perspective, she's like, "Nope, son can't have this book. I don't want him to believe this.
Right.
Here's a distraction." But also from a mother's standpoint, it's my son is sad and I want to fix that.
Yeah.
I can't give him the book back for obvious reasons.
yeah.
Here's a video game, kiddo.
Well, it's cute because she's like, now you can do the heroics, because
Yeah.
I thought it was a very sweet moment.
Given how strict of a parent Regina seems to be, you would not expect her to be like, "Here is a video game."
Yeah. And Henry's like, "Yeah, no, I want Emma." So.
Ungrateful brat.
Exactly. And then that conversation is tabled because Catherine comes in and she's in tears, and Regina sends Henry on his way and then talks to her friend, and
Her good friend.
Catherine tells Regina that David is leaving her and they've broken off, and Regina is just like,
God.
that little homewrecker, whatever.
No, it's home record.
It
I
is
thought she
homewrecker.
said that little hoe.
Yeah.
I thought Regina said that little hoe, and I was like, I wasn't going to correct her.
So Regina reveals, intentionally, unintentionally, probably intentionally-ish.
It's some damn good acting if it's intentional, because she looks like, wait, what? You don't know?
Yeah. I don't know. She's got the pictures, though.
That's true. At Lana
Prepared.
Priya, tell us how you were acting this. What were your script notes? Thank you.
Do you think that Regina knew? So anyway, she's like, David and Mary Margaret have been having this affair. I tried to bury it. Sydney took pictures. I haven't seen anything. We know she's seen things because she was sitting in a car like a creep while they were making
Just
out
watching.
in the street.
Yeah.
But she's like, I haven't seen anything. But Sydney found pictures, and I really was rooting for you guys, so I just buried it and hoped you'd figure things out. Catherine is very upset, rightfully
She's
so.
having none of that shit.
Yeah, no. None of these. So, we flash over to the school where David is on the phone with Mary Margaret, and Mary Margaret's walking through the hallway. Catherine shows up and slaps her across the face.
Oh, it's so good.
Revealing, she knows about the affair, and she's going on, and the fact that this woman does not try to get this person out of the hallway. It
No,
gave me
like
anxiety.
school's like in session, or at least about to be in there are children, students, faculty, and they're just standing there.
Watching, and nobody is like trying to get the woman who slapped the teacher out of the room, out of the hallway.
Here's the wild thing. If someone's yelling at you and you walk away, they'll probably follow.
You start walking to the office. If somebody is yelling at you and getting aggressive, you walk towards the office and you walk towards where somebody, like, admin can come take care of it.
Yes.
You do not hang out in the hallway with the children. They'll follow you.
Yeah, Catherine would have followed. She was not let that conversation.
They're not. She's mad at you. She's not mad at the kids. She's not there to yell at kids. She's there to yell at you. Like, you get that out.
Absurd.
Of the hallway. Oh my God. Whew. Anyway, Mary Margaret is stunned and is like, David didn't tell you. And
oh, that's right, because Catherine makes some like,
yeah,
she's like, oh, I found out. And
right. She's mad not because it's happening. She's mad because David didn't tell her it was happening.
Which he'd promised our dear Mary Margaret that he would
do. But we're going to leave them there in the hallway. Just Catherine storms off. She runs into a soccer gym teacher boy who is, we know to be Frederick from.
It's fun. We never bring that up. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It is. It's like it's actually a nice little nod.
It's a reward.
Yeah, it's like a little reward. But we are over in the Enchanted Forest again, where Abigail brings Charming to this weird little shrine.
Oh yeah, the Princess Di shrine.
Yeah, it's where people go to ask mercy from the guardian of the lake.
Well, sure.
They leave offerings there, and he goes to collect the water. The guardian is a siren, so
of course
she first takes the form of just a beautiful woman. She gives off very like Anne Hathaway, Megan Fox, maybe a little Priyanka Chopra.
Ooh,
in
yep,
there.
Yep, I can see that.
Yeah, but
she's serving looks in a weird crown diadem
thing,
headpiece situation. I don't like it.
It's odd. But David is not swayed by this beautiful woman because his heart belongs to Snow White. So she's like, oh, well, and immediately transforms into Snow White.
Oh, it's convenient. Probably don't reveal that.
Well, you know, it's a whole thing. So she's trying to seduce him, and he's trying to fight it because he knows it's not real, but
he's just one simple man.
He's a simple man, and that's a pretty lady.
He's a shepherd.
So
what do you want from him?
Yeah, exactly. So he's trying to fight, but when she kisses him, he like kind of gives in, and then he fights her off again, and she goes, "Wow, well you're the first one," and then just like pounces on him.
I want to understand the depth of this lake because he's standing in ankle-deep water, drops his sword, it plunges into the depths below.
We get a weird shot of her walking on water from below.
Correct. Exactly. And then when she pushes him into the water, it's like fathoms of ocean beneath them. So it's just like, okay,
I don't know.
Where's the drop-off at this lake?
I don't know. It's terrifying.
It must be abrupt. It must be like you take a step, you're done.
Yeah, it's a cliff. Yes. So she starts dragging him down, and he is trying to fight her off. He starts to drown, but then like sees some skeletons at the bottom of the lake, and
it's unfortunate.
One of them has a dagger, so he grabs the dagger, and when the siren kisses him again, he stabs her.
Sure.
Makes it out of the lake. Woohoo! Back in Storybrooke, August and Emma meet up, and they go to a very a well that will become quite familiar to us.
Ugh. That's all I will say.
Quite familiar indeed. August says that the water in the well is magical and is supposed to return something that they've lost. And then I think it's very funny because we're obviously meant to connect this to Lake Nostos. But
which is fun.
Yeah, and Emma's like, how do you know this? And he's like, I read the plaque. There's a plaque.
It's
here.
awesome. It's because she's
moment.
like, for a stranger that's never been here, you sure know a lot about Storybrooke.
God, he's like,
why do you know all of this? He's like, 'cause I can read.
There's a plaque right there.
He memorized it. He read it, he had it down word for word. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Although personally, I'd be upset if a man said, let's go get a drink, and was like, well, water.
Yeah, here, have some water from this well.
I would be furious.
From this well in the woods where Mr. Gold is busy being a cryptid.
Actual cryptid Mr. Gold.
Yes. Mr. Gold is Slender Man. I don't know what
He's
to
Slender
tell
Man
you.
and Bigfoot. He's a lot of things.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Is he the Mothman also?
Yes. I don't know. He's everything. It stands to reason. Why
he
not?
Is every single villainous character.
He's the crocodile. He's the beast. He's Rumpelstiltskin. He might as well be the Mothman. Sure. Why not?
Fantastic.
Mr. Gold is the Mothman. You heard it here first.
I wish I hadn't.
But anyway, they're on their weird little well date. And
I hope it's going well.
Get out.
I cannot.
Oh, rats. Anyway, Mary Margaret is walking the streets, forlorn and sad.
Mm-hmm.
Very self-conscious, which, fair, you've been slapped at your place of work. That's
upsetting.
a lot. It's clear everybody's heard, because they're all kind of looking at her and avoiding her, and then Granny runs into her and is like,
oh,
you should be ashamed of yourself. Granny has thoughts.
Granny has never said a single word to Catherine.
Nope. Granny just has thoughts.
Granny has a moral compass, and she will not be swayed.
I would argue from what we see of Granny in, the Enchanted Forest, that seems very much like she's got her way of, here is how we do things, and you are not to go outside of it.
Exactly. I will say, just on the few comments she makes to Ruby about, cover up, what are you wearing, it feels correct that she'd be like,
yeah,
you slept with a married man, how awful, how terrible, you should be ashamed.
Yes, definitely. Anyway, that obviously upsets Mary Margaret. She keeps walking and sees her, I guess she drives a station wagon.
Apparently. We never see her actually drive it, so I don't know why it matters.
But it's
on her house would have been better. I wish it had been on her door or window.
But it's on her car, and someone has spray painted Tramp along the side. And David's there trying to wash it off before she sees, but unfortunately she sees.
Sure.
And Mary Margaret rightfully gets very upset with him and is like, why didn't you tell Catherine? We agreed you were going to tell Catherine, and what did you not do? Tell Catherine. So what's up? And he's like, I didn't want anybody to get hurt. And she was like,
we've already had this conversation.
But now everyone is hurt. You done
Look
fucked
at us
up.
all being hurt.
Yeah, we're all hurt now. And he's like, well, he tries to be like, I love you. And she's like, this isn't love. This is destructive and bad, and it needs to stop. What it is needs to stop.
I actually really do like this.
It's a really good scene for her.
I think it gives back some of the redemption for Mary Margaret of she does have her morals. She was swayed. And I think more importantly, it really does show, Storybrooke will not let you live your correct life. That was Regina's whole claim. I'm going to go to a place with no happy endings.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
No matter what you do, it's going to be shitty.
I honestly have very little issue with how Mary Margaret handles all of this affair. Mm-hmm. I really don't. And how she's framed. She honestly gets punished so much more than David does.
You mean a white man isn't held accountable for these actions in this
just,
year, 2011?
This is completely brand new information. So, anyway, she's upset and is like, we have to stop. This is not happening.
Yeah.
Because this is destructive and bad, and now people are hurt. Which, good for her.
We love to see it.
We love to see it. Emma is going to, I think, get in her car, and then there's something in the gutter. It's a red box. What's inside the red box? You may
I have no
ask?
idea.
Why?
Tell me.
It's the book. It's Henry's
Golly
book.
gee.
Golly gee. And, we pan out a little bit, and you know who's around the corner?
No, who?
Golly gee, wouldn't you just know it? It's August J. Williker's booth.
That sneaky guy.
That sneaky guy is sneaking around the corner watching her pick it up. So,
wow.
We don't really know why he's done this. We do not know what's going on with the book. And I feel like there's something, but I don't remember. I'll be perfectly honest. It's been so long since we've watched season 1. I don't remember why he needs a copy of the book.
I'm pretty sure he's just going through and trying to find ways to convince Emma of magic and trying to find, like, connection points and see what's in the book so he can collect proof to be like, hey, I'm Pinocchio.
Okay. It would have been better if he was putting, like, things in the book.
No, if he were the author, but they didn't have the idea for an author yet. I don't think.
I don't think he had to be the author. He took the whole goddamn book apart. He could put new pages in.
That's true.
He's a writer.
Really shitty drawings of him, and then I ran away from the nursery and left the baby.
They're stick figures.
Yep.
Anyway, August is being August around the corner. And Catherine goes to visit Regina again. And Regina's like, I thought you wouldn't want to see me. You were pretty mad at me last time. And she's like, I didn't either. But then I started thinking about it. And David and I were never in love. I've never been in love.
Well, I'm pretty sure she, even cites the photos. Like, look at how he's looking at her. Like, he's never once looked at me that way.
Right.
What he and I have is not love.
Yeah, this is not it. So Catherine says, I've written this letter. It tells David to be with Mary Margaret. I'm going to go to Boston. I want to build something and find that for myself, but this is not where I can do it.
Good on her. You know?
She's
really, she's taking a high road that I don't think I would be able to.
This is an insane, this is the road in the sky. It's so high.
This is less than 24 hours since she found out that her husband is having an affair, and she's just like, okay, be with her.
Yeah.
And I want you to be happy. You look happy.
Yeah.
And my happiness will be somewhere else, and I'm going to law school. Peace out. Bye.
Yeah.
Who gets the dog? Who gets the dog? What happens to their dog? What happens to Ajax?
I'm so upset right now.
Oh, no, right.
I was going to say Ajax could go to Boston with her, but she's not going to make it to Boston.
Where's Ajax?
Oh, no.
I'm going to need everyone who listens to tweet anyone you know that worked on this show to answer
Where is Ajax?
Is the dog okay?
Where is Ajax?
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, anyway, what I wrote in my notes here, or in my summary here, is that Catherine plans to move to Boston alone because she is a perfect angel who has done nothing wrong ever. And
Much
I stand
like
by
Regina.
that. Yeah. Exactly.
This show does a good job of making you take a character that is originally unlikable, in a matter of very few episodes, root for her and see that she is great and kind and gracious.
Yes, and I think they do a good job of casting it so that with actors who you root for. They do a good job. In the Enchanted Forest, Abigail is waiting by Frederick's statue. Just by Frederick.
So,
I don't
his body by Frederick's golden...
My Frederick's golden body.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. David brings the water back. He's triumphant. It works.
Oh, he stabby stabbed.
Yeah, he stabby stabbed the siren, so
he got the water.
He got the water. He's good. Gold melts away. Frederick is free. Hooray. Abigail
It's Soccer Boy
introduces Prince Charming. He says that he's going to go after Snow White now, which, yeah, I don't know why he's announcing this. Like, it wasn't his plan. He's like, I will suffer the consequences.
We started the episode with him on the run.
Yep.
Choosing to... Like, this is no different than where he started.
Yep, correct.
More on this later.
Correct. So he says, I'm gonna find her. I will suffer the consequences.
I will always find her.
He's gonna suffer the consequences.
He will suffer.
We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that. He is willing to suffer the consequences of breaking off this engagement.
Love that for him.
Uh-huh. So Abigail says, well, be careful. King George is going to be coming after you. Again, something we know because that's how the episode started.
Correct.
But anyway, he rides off into the forest and finds Red. We've seen this scene before, a shorter version, where...
And from a different angle. So I appreciate they filmed it from two angles to make it feel like, oh, now we're getting more of the story. We know where he's coming from.
Exactly. So he's like, I'm here for Snow White. And she's like, she left to like come find
Never came
you.
back.
Never came back. And he's like, well, the woman doesn't love me, but I'm going to find her anyway. And she's like, no, she wants to be with you more than anything. So something must have changed between then and now, basically. And he's like, I will find her. I'll always find her, whatever. And then riding across the field is King George in his chainmail, looking not great, with his men. And he says, what was the exact quote? I believe it was something along the lines of, bring me his head.
Yep.
Something like that.
That sounds pretty correct.
And, it's a whole thing. Red and Charming are up on his horse and ride off away into the sunset. Or the forest. Goody.
Sure.
We've flashed back to Storybook for the last time. Regina enters the Nolan house using big old ring of keys with skeletons on them. They're skeleton keys. Haha.
Are there...
She takes the letter that Catherine had left for David and leaves. Henry's outside. He's sitting outside of school. Emma shows up, gives him the book back.
Oh, he's so delighted. It's like Christmas Day.
It really is. And he sees this as a sign that things are going to turn around. Things are going to get better from now on. Going back to Mary Margaret's house. Mary Margaret is just on her bed, despondent. It's good. It's a good scene.
She says no to like every question, and it's the most accurate depiction of like, breakup.
Emma's like, you ready to talk about it? And she's like, nope. Well, do you want to be alone? No. Okay. It's very sweet. And so Emma just like lies on the bed with her, and they're just there together.
Saying nothing. Which is the best friend energy. Like when you're just like, I don't want to talk, but I don't want to be alone. So you're going to stay here and I'm going to stay here. And that's where we are.
Exactly. Regina is in her office. I got distracted by a typo. I will reveal what it says after I reveal what has occurred in this
I
scene.
Can't wait.
So Regina opens her desk drawer and it shows spray paint, red spray paint. So
love it. She wrote tramp on the car.
It's beautiful.
Love it.
What a beautifully petty thing to do. And also shows the letter. I don't know why we're shown this as a reveal. It's literally just so that we see the spray paint.
Yeah.
Because we know she has the letter. We saw her going in to get the letter.
But now we know that she also was like, I'm a right tramp on her car.
Yeah, exactly. We are just here to find out about the spray paint. But she picks up the letter. She burns the letter.
Oh, no.
Catherine tries to leave Storybook. She is
She
in her
looks
car.
so happy. She looks so, like, new
She's
start.
ready to go. But, obviously, you can't leave Storybrooke. So,
Henry's told us at least a dozen times.
our gym teacher friend, Frederick, happens upon the car that has crashed into the sign. The airbag has been deployed, but nobody's inside. And that is where we're going to leave it. Oh, no.
Wonder if that's going to come back later to
bite
haunt
someone.
us.
Okay, before we get started, I do want to reveal.
Yeah, what's that typo? Please tell me.
Okay, so, right, the sentence was, Regina opens her desk, correct? What autocorrect decided to help me out with was, Regina opens her dress to show the spray paint.
Can she please?
I mean, why not?
Wow. I think your iPad had the right idea.
It's fine. You know.
It's a very different show.
But yes. That's the HBO version.
Man.
Game of Thorns.
Oh, no.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. This is another episode that's objectively fun.
Yeah, no. We're just headed into a series of episodes that are about to be, like, fun and a good time. And
I think it's interesting, though, because usually with pilot episodes, I feel like you get the first chunk are really solid. In the middle, you have, like, the weird, I don't know what's happening episodes. And this show, I feel like episodes, like, 3 and 4, we were like, why are these here?
It's just a show that I think had to be so exposition heavy.
Yeah. Well, in the first, 4 or 5 episodes are, here's a character, here's their identity, here's a character, here's who they are.
Which was fun, objectively very fun the first time around.
Oh, yeah.
I will say.
But from a plot carrying standpoint,
yeah,
very
they
little
don't
weight bearing on it.
Yeah, they don't really pull a whole lot.
Hey, good summation. Take a drink. Take 2.
Okay. If you insist.
Cheers. I do. Cheers. And all of you listening, you probably deserve a drink as well. You had to listen, which is almost as bad as watching.
I mean, it was a time. Oh, yeah, no, it was quite interesting. Now, I know what I would like to talk about. We're about to spend a whole shit ton of time on David Nolan, are we not?
Oh, we really are. I think there's 2 main points on David. I think first, before, because we're gonna live there for a while.
We're gonna live there for a while.
I want to talk about one thing that I really like about Regina and what we know about her as a character.
Yeah.
It's like episode 1 or 2. I can't remember. Don't quote me on it. But the episode where she's talking to Maleficent and trying to get the curse, and Maleficent's like, "Don't hurt me, don't kill me," or whatever. And after this like really intense back and forth, Regina turns to her and goes, "Now why would I do that? You're my oldest friend." And we even talked about how that's such a telling moment of Regina as a character, of just like, it doesn't matter if she loves you, she will fuck you over and still sit there and say, "Yeah, you're my closest friend."
Yes.
Same with her. She does this to her dad. Like, if you love her, that does not make you exempt from her wrath.
No, and I like that. I think she is so genuine when she has these moments of, no, you're like my really good friend. She just thinks this is how you care about people.
Correct. And it's fascinating because we see this again with Catherine. And admittedly, I wish we had seen more. I wish they gave us that Catherine and Regina truly are friends. There are a few moments, but they're far and few between. It's not enough to really make you believe, wow, they really are very close and they're each other's confidants. There's just pepperings of moments. But when Catherine shows up and is like, "I'm leaving," or when she shows up and says, "He's leaving me, it's terrible, it's terrible." And even the next conversation when she says, "I'm leaving," you can see, like, Regina feels awful, but it's already percolating how this could work for her. Like, oh, you're going to leave still. And you left a note. You can see that even as she's, like, supporting and feeling bad for her friend, there's a part of her that's, but also this works in my advantage, and this is good. You're going to leave? Oh, rats. Regina to herself, no one can leave. This will end poorly. You should go. Yeah, you should go.
Yeah. Yes. No, I definitely wish we had gotten a braver show a little bit just on these two, where it's like, I just think it would have been really nice to be a little more brave. Again, I get it. It's season 1, and this is why they don't do it, because they need Regina to be the archetype of the villain right now. She needs to be evil. She needs to be the evil that needs to be defeated.
That's so much more interesting to have.
I
those
wish we
moments
had gotten a storyline like this in a later season, where you could kind of see her waffle with it and kind of being like, this is my friend. I don't want to hurt my friend,
but
with
I need to
either
do
this knowledge or physically harm my friend. But in order for my plan to keep
I need to do this
in place, I have to do this. It would have been nice to have it and have them be like genuine friends and have her struggle with it a little bit. Again, I get why we can't do it this season, so I'm not saying and they did anything wrong here, other than, boy, it would have been nice if we'd gotten that.
And I will say, this is another mark of Lana Priya's acting ability, but there is that, you can see the shift in her expression of like, oh my god, this is horrible, I'm so sorry, to, oh, your plan is to what? Okay, this can still work.
Yeah.
Because all Regina cares about is Snow White cannot be happy. And
like they cannot be together.
And when Catherine comes back and is like, I've been enlightened, I've never been in love, this is what love is, I don't have it, they should be together, that fucks with Regina's plan.
Yes.
So you can see this grappling moment where she does switch, like, but it's immediate. There is no, I care for my friend. It's, oh, fuck, oh, I can take care of this.
Yes. Well, and I like that you can kind of see her be like, you did? And then she's like, I left a letter because I can't face him. I can't talk to him.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, great. Like, okay. All right.
Even better. That I can get rid of that evidence.
Okay.
He will never know.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're going to leave? Oh, darn. I hope nothing bad happens on your way out.
Gee. Hope you don't get into a car crash. Do you think you'll see a wolf? Maybe you'll see a wolf.
Whatever happened to that wolf? Like, I know Graham's dead, but the wolf didn't die.
You don't know that. Maybe the wolf died when Graham died.
You know what they did? They did have a special bond.
They did have a really special bond. Really special.
Simpler times.
Simpler times when we were making jokes about fucking a wolf.
Yikes.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Is it David time?
Does it have to be?
In this show, it's always David time.
That's so true, especially in these first
He's our hero.
seasons.
We love him. He's so courageous and brave.
So courageous and brave.
Which they pull back the trope for him constantly. Season 4 with the Wizard of Oz arc and Zelina, his courage is taken away from him. Like
in which he does not ever show any cowardice whatsoever. Great.
No.
Awesome.
But it's fascinating to me that they keep trying to convince us that he's strong and brave. And again, I recognize he's cursed, so he's not those things. But he said, like, Mary Margaret even calls it out at one point. She goes like, no, like, the brave, like, the righteous and correct thing would be to do this. And you were a coward.
Right.
You are an asshole. Fuck you.
No, I think it's just very, very hard because not everyone in Storybrooke is the exact opposite.
No, so it's hard to keep
who they
track.
were.
Like, Ruby is, I would argue,
pretty similar.
Same.
Yeah,
she changes nothing.
She changes her skirt length, and that's about it.
Granny, again, no
feels
changes.
Feels very similar. Yeah, no, it's
even Archie. Like, he's a little bit more uncertain, but in his origin story, we get that uncertainty in the Enchanted Forest. Like, he still isn't sure of everything.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things where you're like, oh man, it would have been nice to either see more of people who are, like, everybody's their mirror image in Storybrooke, or seeing a little bit of these pieces of timidness from Snow and cowardice from Charming.
Right.
Like, seeing that in the Enchanted Forest as things they push past in order to be the hero, So then when we come to Storybrooke, we go,
We
oh,
can see
that's the
that.
part of their personality that's been taken over. The worst
Yeah.
part of their personality
Or-
is now the majority of their personality.
Exactly. Or if they really wanted to, you could even go the route of they are the same versions of themselves, but circumstances are not going to let them be together. Like they could have also gone that route.
Yeah,
where it's,
but they keep
they
doing
aren't themselves.
But they keep doing the whole David, like it's David's choice. That's the part that I don't agree with.
No, and that's why it becomes so infuriating to root for David as a character. Even the Disney Plus summary tries to tell us that he makes the choice to tell Catherine. He aggressively chooses not to. He chooses the cop-out of, fantastic, I don't have to hurt her because she's choosing to leave, and I can just say, no, I don't want to go.
Right. And you know what? I will say, honestly, if they hadn't been having an active affair, would have been an okay way to go.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, not great. I still think
it should be a conversation.
If you're having feelings for another person, that's probably something to talk out with your partner a little bit. But
so much worse.
Yeah, it's just like if you've done nothing, you've got this friend, your wife says, I'm going to Boston, and you say, I cannot go.
And I'm sorry, how many times has this man promised her, we're going to make things work, I want to go to therapy, I care about you?
At least 2 or 3, which we have not had enough time with him for it to be much more than that.
No, but you would think that someone that genuinely meant that would say, you're right, we should have a fresh start.
Yeah.
And that could have, I don't know. I just think it's so infuriating that they flip-flop him so many times, but don't ever give the benefit of us seeing him trying with Catherine, which again, would make me more angry if it showed us moments. But he's just full of empty words.
Well, honestly, I think
I'd be a single word he says.
Yeah, I think I would be less angry if we saw him actually trying.
Because it's like you're giving it an honest effort, it's not working.
Right, and then we'd be like, oh, it's this irresistible fated pull between Snow and Charming, and that's why they can't stay away from each other.
And that's what I think we mentioned this in like 7:15 a.m. or one of the other episodes. It would almost be more interesting if they were trying to avoid each other and fate kept pulling them back to each other. In that episode, they're actively seeking each other out.
Right, until the very end.
It would be so much more interesting if they're like, I'm trying to avoid you. Why are you here? Now, why are you here? Like, I don't want to be around you. I'm trying to resist this.
Right, we get the one time, which is literally a half an hour before he's, or after he's promised his wife to make
30 seconds before they make out.
Yeah, exactly. So, there were just ways, it's the thing about this show that drives me nuts, where I'm like, there are these little tiny tweaks that you could make, and suddenly you've got this really solid story that makes sense, and the characterization is there, but no, you've just decided,
Oh, I just had a weird realization. This is perhaps the first episode without Gold or Rumple.
And there is no gold in this episode.
That's weird.
It's very, very weird.
I don't like that. I don't trust that he's not around. Because I feel like he's the type of character you could insert anywhere and just have him watching August watching. Because he would know who August is and be like, I don't fucking like this. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he would know that August was there.
I was really afraid you were just going to stop after watching. Have him watching. Watching what?
Yes. I don't know. He's the type that would know that August Booth is Pinocchio and would be very distressed by this news.
Here's the thing. He was there. We just didn't see him. He was in the woods by the well. He had his little booties on and his gardening apron, and he's doing some gardening and definitely not burying a body in the woods.
He's burying Moe's body, let's be real. God. But,
oh, you know what? Speaking of gold.
Oh, good.
I think I want, I was like, what did I say we were going to come back to? We're going to come back to, I'm infuriated. I was glad to clock the gold got in the way
Oh, yeah, that's a good line.
of true love's kiss. I'm glad that there is some attempt at an explanation of why true love's kiss has not worked. But we have been told time and time again, true love's kiss will break any curse. Last episode, it was strong enough to practically break the Dark One's curse.
Which is apparently like the most cursy curse you could curse on a person.
Correct. So I don't feel like true love's kiss should not work on some gold.
Right. Like, I guess the argument could be at that point it's not a person, so you're not, like, this is no longer a living...
Is he frozen through or is he plated?
Maybe that's the distinction.
That's my question.
And I think that's a fair question. Again, we must ask you to tweet everyone that you know that worked on the show to answer this for us. Thank you.
I just need to know.
No, and I mean, I liked the verbiage of Gold got in the way, because I'm like, doesn't he fucking always? Mr. Gold's always in the way.
Again, yes, he was also in the woods there. He also had his apron and his little booties on. I was definitely not burying a body.
Oh, no.
But, yeah.
Okay, it's time to address the Mama David in the room.
Oh, Mama David! I'm worried for Mama David.
If we recall in the nice episode, The Shepherd, the Mama David
God.
Christ in it, King George blatantly says, if you do not agree to this marriage, I will kill your mom.
Yes, your mother
mom
will
will
be
die.
dead. I will murder your mother. He practically says, I will stab your mother.
Yes, he reiterates it in, was it 2 episodes ago, where Snow shows up with the letter to be like, I answered your letter, I love you. He intercepts and is like, you cannot be with her, bad things will happen, we made a deal.
Yep.
So there is a deal that if David at any point says, I'm not marrying Abigail,
Mama David gets it.
so we start this episode with him running away. And King George is like, where is he? He's supposed to marry Abigail, so we can only assume King George is going to go and murder Mama David.
And then David's like, I'll suffer the consequences, LOL.
You will not suffer any consequence. Your mom, though. A lot of consequences.
He's like, I'm happy to lose my mom. She'd be happy that I'm fighting for true love.
It's what she would have wanted.
Yeah. It's so sad that my mom got murdered by that man due to my actions.
Just feel like we have forgotten that was the whole reason that he couldn't be with Snow when they first met to begin with.
Oh yeah, no, we've dropped that like a hot potato. That is not coming back.
We realize that's a very powerful
reason to stay. Yeah.
That's a very powerful threat. If they live up on that, Mama David wouldn't be able to give Snow the weird pregnancy pendant later. We need that.
Of course, we need the weird pregnancy pendant. What would we do without the weird pregnancy pendant?
Exactly. So David just doesn't seem to care. He's like,
they have forgotten.
At the end of the episode too, they've forgotten, or they're hoping that we have forgotten.
Yeah, which, to be fair, when you have to watch it week by week, perhaps we would have.
But they made that was the entire point of the episode, The Shepherd. He shows up like, I'm not here to see you, I'm here to say goodbye.
Yeah. No, I'm aware.
It's insane, because they bless her, they give her the farm and the animals and money, and if your son fucks up and doesn't follow through, you will be unalived.
Right. Correct. No, I don't get... Again, one of those things where they keep being like, hey, this man is a hero. And you're like, hey,
is he?
This man was just like, I'm cool with you murdering my mom.
Right. And my favorite part about all this at the end, when Ruby's like, she does love you. We know at this point she's taken her anti-love potion, so Snow, in fact, does not love.
No, she has no idea who he is. It's great.
And I love that for me.
I mean, assuming the timelines, one can assume. Sure.
Well, because we see that
you're
it's in the
correct.
same episode, but I don't know. He is
you're
banking
correct.
a lot
No,
on the fact
Yeah.
that his mom doesn't care if she lives or dies.
Yeah, no, he's like, you know what? She's lived a good long life. She got some nice cushy living there towards, for 3 days towards the end.
Got some goats. It was good for her.
So it was good for her for those 3 days I was engaged to Abigail, and now Well, she'll be happy that I'm marrying for love and definitely not sad she's going to die.
I don't think King George will care about the nuances of Abigail's previous fiance's back. He will just say, hey, not James, why didn't you fucking convince her to stay? It doesn't matter, we had an agreement.
And in fact, Abigail says he's going to be furious when he finds out that, like, the merger between kingdoms has not gone through. Which, I will say...
it's pretty fucked up.
Also, I would say, hey, Abigail.
Your father.
You've got some sway. Your daddy loves you. You now have handsome Prince Man back.
Yeah.
So you guys are probably going to be like king and queen. I would say maybe you could help out David by going to George and being like, yo, we're not getting married.
Here's the situation.
But let's go ahead and sit down and we're going to have a talk about how we can make this
just have my dad
happen.
touch a few things. You'll have gold. It'll be fine.
My father can break the economy. It's fine.
And that's why I don't understand. What kind of fucked up king are you to be like, I can solve all the economy issues? I will not.
Well, because inflation then. If
That's
everything is gold, gold means nothing.
True, but he could be a little bit less sparing with it, I think. And it'd be like, okay, I recognize that you're a very poor kingdom. Let me give you enough to help with the inflation that you have not been able to keep up with. And that's all I will do.
Who's to say? I mean, again, I feel you now, David, sir, have some leverage over, because now you've helped out this princess that you were supposed to marry, but you know what? You made a fast friend now because you saved her love, and
good old Frederick.
We can all part as unlikely friends. So, like, maybe she could go back and be like, hey, King George, no, you're not super happy with your son, but
consider this.
Me, like, super happy, so I'm considering maybe we can work out a deal. Maybe we can give you some of that gold we were supposed to give. Because, again, part of the reason that David has to take part in this marriage is because the gold will feed his kingdom forever.
Yeah,
literally
there's a whole comment about it because David's like, oh, this crown can feed everyone for a week, and George is like, fuck you, if you marry Abigail, you'll feed everyone forever. So, like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. I don't have time for this man. I don't
have time for any of the men in the show except for Robin.
Robin is the only man I have any time for. Sometimes I have time for Hook, but not much. I have like a minute.
Sometimes Sebastian. No, I said Sebastian
forgot
Stan. That's not even Jefferson. I have time for Jefferson.
I have time for surprise midweek Sebastian Stan. Ooh, thank you.
We're coming up on.
I know. I can't
Sebastian
wait.
Stan moments for everyone.
Can't wait for surprise midweek Sebastian Stan. If you ever want a treat, and we will reiterate this in his episodes, just pause anytime he's on screen and see what kind of face he's making.
It's his audition for the Winter Soldier.
Is it? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, a little bit of the.
It's the manic, like, I'm going to be broody and weird and just, like, off the wall.
Sometimes I just think about the episode with Frankenstein and the number of times we paused on his on Sebastian Stan's face as he's in the background and it just
playing with his hat, doing his own weird shit.
Yeah, like just doing his own nonsense.
Happy to be here.
It's a great time. I highly suggest the Pause Sebastian Stan game because he's just got a very expressive face.
He does.
I look forward to it. We're coming up on that pretty soon.
We are. I know. Buckle
very soon. But next week is Dreamy.
Oh. Yeah, next week is Dreamy. And with any luck, we're going to have Keely's partner join us for some fun shenanigans.
We only have guest stars from one family.
It's true. They're the only ones that tolerate us.
That's true. That's fair. Yes, I would like to hear his thoughts. Housekeeping.
No.
We have
nothing.
Nothing. I mean, I guess technically if we really wanted to, well, and I will because it's a confirmed kiss on screen. Like,
it is.
We'll add Frederick to the fuck fern.
The tumbleweed.
No, that's the family tree.
There's too much shrubbery.
There's the fuck fern, which is just going to be tangled, but like we knew it was going to be tangled. And then there was the family tree, but
it was
no.
supposed to be messy and not too bad. It's just getting worse.
It just keeps getting wider. Not longer, wider.
No, family trees should be long, not squat.
Exactly. So it's the family tumbleweed. There are too many.
This tree really, really folded itself hot dog style instead of hamburger.
Exactly. And
but like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got you. I got you.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's not. But we have nothing to add there on that. We just have that one. I'll pop Frederick onto the fuck fern.
That's fun.
In a small little spot that connects to no one but Catherine, and call it good.
There you go. My list is pretty sad this week too. Nothing to add. I had a moment where I thought I was going to have to give Emma credit when Mary Margaret's like, how'd you know I was having an affair? I had a moment where I was like, is Emma about to say superpower? She did not, thank God.
Yes.
Although at the same time, that would have been nice if she had.
Since.
But instead she was just like, no, you fucking suck at this and you're obvious. 2 teacups in the sink, come on.
Right? Just.
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, it's a sad state of affairs, but it won't stay this way for long. We are
no. We're
definitely, once we get out of season 1, I feel like it becomes
messy. Extra messy.
They
weren't expecting more than a season 1. You can tell they were not.
They had a season 1 arc.
I'm happy for them.
Maybe a season 2. They had. I would say they had
season
a season 2
is
arc.
So good. That might be my favorite season.
Season 2 is objective.
No, season 4 and 5 are pretty solid because we get Robin, and that's just good for us all.
I feel like as a season 2 is the best season.
Yes.
Like storylines.
We get Neil. We get Manhattan, which is one of my favorite episodes of television.
Cheesy and delicious and doesn't lie.
I want that on a t-shirt. Thank you.
Yeah, why do they keep putting hooks on t-shirts and not wonderful quotes?
This is 2 weeks in the past, but on our social, I posted on our story a really weird, like, Valentine's Day couples shirt you can get that's all the hooked swan hook. I don't know what their ship name is. I don't care what their ship name is.
You're welcome here, but we don't know your ship name.
No.
Sorry.
It's a heart with all their little, like, symbols on it. I'm sorry. If you're going to market me Valentine's Day attire for Once Upon a Time, either make it Snow and Charming or, like, Regina and Robin. I don't know.
And Regina, yes. Hell, throw one out for the Swan Queen shippers. Like, just do it. Stop being cowards.
Right?
Again, not my particular brand of tea because Robin of Locksley exists. But stop being cowards. Make Swan Queen merch for people.
Please,
ABC. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's 2022. You can do it.
Yeah. I mean, also, please bring me my Outlaw Queen nonsense. Please and thank you. But
right.
I
don't know.
Just be brave.
It's a nerve.
Do something brave. Yeah. I don't have anything else to add other than I'm annoyed, but, you know.
That's fair.
That's a normal state of affairs after this show.
Yeah. No, and what episode do we have next week?
It's Dreamy, is it not?
Dreamy. Duh. Yeah, Dreamy. That's the name of the episode. We've already mentioned that.
Yeah.
So again, watch it in advance if you want to. Don't watch it in advance if you don't give a shit. We don't care.
Come find us. And, of course, if you want to, rate and review. I don't like asking that, but, like, go for it if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
You're on Apple Podcasts. That helps people find us.
Ugh. Right? That's weird.
I know.
And again, we're still trying to do, like, a listener theory, questions, concerns, lots of concerns episode. So, email.
Yeah, any theories, any thoughts?
Things we missed. If there are lies I missed, I desperately want to know, because I am but one humble human.
Yes, for sure. We do our best to catch these things, but
there are some where even, like, as we're watching it, I don't notice it. It's not until we're recording that I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She missed that.
Or, that was a lie and we need to give her credit.
Mm-hmm. So Yeah, we want to hear from you guys.
Yeah,
Yes or Nifty.
absolutely.
It's fun that you're here.
Yes. Please write in. Please send your thoughts, comments, compliments,
Lots of concerns.
concerns.
Yes, compliment us, please. We're very vain.
Send us anything. And where can they send those?
Yeah, so our email is wineandonce@gmail.com. That first wine is the drink, so it's WINE and then wine, WHINE, and once @gmail.com. Our Instagram handle is the exact same, wine and once. Follow us to see the really shitty memes that I post.
We have so much fun making those memes.
Oh my gosh. We do.
We do.
We are our own target audience, and if you don't think we're funny, that's okay, because we laugh at ourselves every single day. The number of times that I text Lo while I'm editing, and I just go, we're fucking hysterical.
I was really excited about the cat dog thing.
It made me really happy to post it.
That was
I'm sorry. That
my
Agrabah
contribution.
viper had 2 heads and no tail.
It was dumb. It was a dumb
It was a cat
snake.
dog situation.
It was a dumb cat dog snake, and I didn't like it.
Nope.
And on that note, congratulations. This has been a bad time.
Awful time.
But
I don't know what
here's-
else to say other than
We have some good news. It can
Yep.
only go up from here.
hell yeah.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yes, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.